respected.
Yeah.
And he's also the person responsible for our state's motto of "United we stand, divided we fall," which came from a tavern drinking song that happened to be his favorite song.
Boy, you know the rest of the story, don't you?
Well, parts of it,
yeah,
anyway.
That's right. That's right. Do you know the whole song?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's pretty neat. 1928, we're moving here. I'm thinking about this. This was monumental for 1928, Sam. The best trip that has ever been offered the farmers of Barron and adjoining counties will be the round trip to the Tri-State Fair and the National Dairy Show at Memphis, Tennessee, October the 17th. Now, it says here the L&N will run a special train carrying 500 farmers from this territory. Go to Memphis and go to the Tri-State Fair and the National Dairy Show. The round-trip cost, now this is both ways, Sam, getting there and coming home, $7.30. Economical travel in 1928. And you can imagine, that was maybe before they started having conventions, big gatherings in a lot of places. Let's just get on the train and go there, because the meeting probably would have occurred on the train too, with all those folks traveling.
I'm sure it did.
That was 1928. Big doings for it wasn't that hard to move people. They just said we just got to do it. 1938. This day in history, the Park Committee, headed by Ralph Rush, the president, received many compliments on the handling of the program this year. 5 state highway patrolmen assisted in handling the traffic this Sunday. So they...
Now, Henry, that was in relation to the Branstetter Park Homecoming.
Okay, all right. I see that now. I see that goes back to the... I didn't bring the two of them together there, but this is the Branstetter Homecoming. Of course, had a big time this weekend in Metcalfe County with the big, what would it be, the sesquicentennial celebration there in Metcalfe County. But it was a big deal, and so that was the Ralph Rush ran the park committee there in Metcalfe County for the Branstetter Park Homecoming. Did I get that part of it right?
You did.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to separate those stories, but sometimes I do that. But they all go together. That was 1938. So, while we're in 1938, I'll tell you about one more event here. This is the day that Mr. and Mrs. E.L. Myers, Jr. returned from a trip through the East and the South, coming by way of Fulton, where they visited her sister, Mrs. Gilbert DeMeyer, and Mr. DeMeyer. So a good visit there in 1938 for Mr. and Ms. E.L. Myers on the road.
You know, Henry, in those days, women tended to be referred to by their husband's name.
Uh-huh.
And for those who didn't catch who Mrs. E.L. Myers, Jr. was, that would be Ethel.
Yeah, Miss Ethel. And Mr. Shorty.
Myers.
Yes.
And her sister was Mary Ellen.
So, and they went to visit down in far west Kentucky as a part of the big vacation. All right, let me make sure that I get that right, and I'll move over here to the next item of business. This is 1948. Wallace Shockley has been appointed a rural mail carrier and started his duties September the 1st. This is the route vacated by Elmer Howerton through retirement and temporarily carried by Elmer Brooks. Cal Jordan's bid was accepted for the Scottsville Star route, and he also began his duties on September the 1st. A lot of names dropped in that little story right there, Sam. We're talking about Wallace Shockley taking over a route vacated by Elmer Howerton and temporarily carried by Elmer Brooks. Just so you want to make sure and know who your mailman is, because it's a good thing to know that, you know.
Well, and you want the mailman to know who you are.
That's right.
So he gets your mail, too.
That's right. 1948 it was. 1958, this was the news in the Republican. James Crow has assumed a position as assistant manager with First Federal Savings and Loan Association. He began new duties this week as assistant to Joe Ryherd at the office on East Washington Street across from the city building. Assets of over $3 million are reported by First Federal at the close of business yesterday. They're paying 3.5% interest on savings, which insured up to $10,000. That's a small amount of insurance, but back in the day, that was what they were insuring, those savings and loans deposits from 1958. Right there at First Federal, right across from, the city building. It's, let's see, it's, I believe the law offices of Bobby Richardson's in there somewhere, and Cheryl Berry's in there somewhere too, but you know where I'm talking about. The big First Federal Savings and Loan. All right, here's a shocker from 1968, Sam. This was the day of 1968 that Robert A. Lessenberry read a prepared statement to a stunned Glasgow City Council announcing his resignation as the mayor of Glasgow, citing personal obligations as the reason. That was a flash at that time, which cleared the way for the following story, that Luska J. Twyman could be the first Negro mayor in the state. Of course, that turned out to be true, and not only was Luska J. Twyman the first Negro mayor in the state, if I remember right, the first Negro mayor south of Gary, Indiana. Talk about making history, correct, Sam. That was big-time history. And
we're going to be hearing a little bit more about that story as the month goes on.
Okay.
So it'll be fun to tune into the archives in the coming days and learn more about the story.
I'm anxious to hear more about it too, because I'm sure there was a lot of details in there that later on came out. I was affected by that because Luska Twyman was my principal in the 6th grade when he became the mayor. So it was like, I remember when I was a 6th grader at Bunch, Mr. Twyman, the principal, and all these news crews came to Bunch to film and interview Mayor Twyman. It was like a national event for sure, back in the day. Part of history, 1968. All right, let's move from that to 1978. We've got an advertisement for Big Star. Come on down to Big Star, Sam, and get chuck roast, 89 cents a pound. 15 pounds of russet potatoes for $1.28. How about some Morton's frozen dinners? Now, here's a way to save money on your budget. Morton frozen dinners, 2 for $1. And Martha White flour, a 5-pound bag for 58 cents. Where did he say? It's at the Big Star, located in, actually it would have been the old A&P building right across from A Little Taste of Texas there, back in 1978. Big money saved for sure. 1988, new Heritage Trail is going to open at Mammoth Cave National Park. And the guest who is going to, I guess, cut the ribbon on that Heritage Trail is going to be Kentucky's First Lady, Martha Wilkerson, as the guest. And that's a nice touch to have Miss Martha come over there, the First Lady, and cut the ribbon on the new trail there at Mammoth Cave, 1988. 1998, we have new arrivals in the Barron County Progress story from 1998. Here they are. We've had some of these on the birthday list here the last few days. Deborah Hannah Dawn Geralds, Brenna Claire Nunn, Lakey Stevens Taylor, and Matthew Luke Smith. Now, those are the new arrivals, the new births in the community from 1998. All of them turning 20. Time gets away from you. And this day in 2008, there was a meeting. The Glasgow High School classmates from the class of 65 met at Barren River Lake to renew friendships. Now, that's interesting. It wasn't one of those 5 or 10 year, it was a class of 65. But in 2008, they said it's time we just get together and renew friendships. And that they did. And we're starting to hear more.
I believe they
Go ahead.
still do that.
Yes, they do.
I believe the class of '65 still does that, and they may have done the same thing this weekend at Barren River.
Well, it's good that they continue to renew those friendships, because some of those friendships you make in high school are timeless and some of the best days of our lives, as the song says. So I think that we have trudged through the archives here today to see that every day is exciting around here, Sam.
It's always exciting.
Including the day of Harvest of History, when you get to play your college president up at the Harvest of History. Remember those dates now, the 21st and 22nd of September.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, and we hope that you'll get to be, I know you'll be back here tomorrow. We'll share some more of the history as it is gathered from the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center, part of who we are. Thanks to our sponsors, Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services.
Do you use a debit card? Do you get paid by direct deposit or have a monthly bill set up for auto payment? Do you like the convenience of online banking and the efficiency of e-statements? If so, Citizens First Platinum Plus checking account is for you. Stop by Citizens First today to open your Platinum Plus account and start earning real interest on your money.
Qualifications must be met each statement cycle to earn premium interest rates. Required minimum opening deposit of $100. Interest earned, compounded, and paid monthly. Interest rate is subject to change. Must be a Kentucky or Tennessee resident. One account per Social Security number.
Knowledge and paying the best prices I can pay.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next, because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
And without phone.
Weather from the WCLU Weather Center. Brought to you by South Central Bank.
South Central Bank is a locally owned bank that cares about you and our community, too.
My name's Roger Mercer. My wife and I, Terry, own Southern Kentucky Collision here in Glasgow. It's a collision repair center. We've been dealing with South Central Bank for probably 23, 24 years. They've always been good to us. They're a hometown bank. South Central Bank's been a really big part of our business as far as the growth. They've been there for us when we needed to borrow money to grow, and we appreciate that very much from South Central Bank.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
Below average temperatures here for the start of the business week, warming up through the middle and end of the work week. Mostly cloudy skies for us here today, although we could see a little bit of sunshine mix in at times later on this afternoon. Afternoon highs today in the low 70s, almost 15 degrees below average. Decreasing clouds for us here tonight, areas of fog late, mid-50s. Morning fog for us on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies through the afternoon. A little milder upper 70s, and then a mix of clouds and sun and quite a bit warmer Wednesday and Thursday, with high temperatures middle to upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Constant coverage, the studio radar screen showing the remnants of the rain that came through this weekend, moving off into southwest Virginia. As far as looking at the current conditions, the rain gauge has 2 3/10 of an inch in it, 2.30 for the weekend. That's a whole lot of revitalization of our moisture in there. Let's see here. The barometer this morning is at 29.92. Northwest winds at 4 miles an hour. 99% humidity. And we are waking up at 6:57 with 61 degrees. That's right. Temperature going down. Feels marvelous. Weather brought to you by South Central Bank.
If you're thinking about remodeling your home, keep in mind that windows play a big part, so it's important to get the right ones. Anderson not only offers finely crafted windows and patio doors in thousands of sizes and styles, they also give you natural wood interiors, low-maintenance exteriors, and long-lasting, energy-saving performance. See the full line of Anderson windows at Glasgow Building Supply on the 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Long live the home.
When Fire Pit Spirits first opened in May, they set out to be a place of business that puts service above all else, and that's why they have a large staff to help you find what you need and then help you do your car when you're done. They strive to have the best selection in the county, and you can be the judge of that. They also wanted you to have the convenience of a drive-through window for when you're in a rush, or if the weather just doesn't suit you. With so many options, Fire Pit Spirits makes sure they're equipped for professionalism and satisfaction. Happy Valley Road in Glasgow, Fire Pit Spirits. Best service, best selection, best friends.
What time is it? It's burger o'clock. Head to Colton's Steakhouse and Grill for lunch. Get a hamburger, cheeseburger, or Montana burger and fries for only $6.99. These fresh ground half-pound burgers are handcrafted, grilled over open flames, and made to order. All meals include peanuts and hot, delicious rolls and honey. Colton's Steakhouse and Grill in Glasgow, Bardstown, Campbellsville, and Radcliffe. We know what's at stake, and burgers too.
Ariel Castro of Cleveland, Ohio, was found in his jail cell, dead of an apparent suicide. Castro was the man who was known for having 3 women held hostage in his home for over a decade. We saw that his home was demolished. Brick by brick and board by board, it was torn down to no longer be in our memory. Seeing the images and thinking about the demise of this man has made me think of this passage from Psalm 127, verse 1. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. What a powerful reminder for each of us. Unless God occupies the place of preeminence in our homes, no matter what else may happen, we are fools and failures. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
All right, I got to jump in here and tell you about a few more birthday honorees here today. We've got Ashley Harper. Ashley Harper works in the cafeteria at Red Cross Elementary, and they called up there from Red Cross and says, we got to wish Ashley Harper a happy birthday today. So I want to jump in there and do that. And I talked to a really nice gentleman. He's always been a nice gentleman and a good guy to talk to. His name is Bill Newberry, and Bill, trivia coming right back at you here on WCLU.
Most of us make sure we get preventative maintenance for our vehicles, our air conditioning, and other things that we use every day that we depend on. Shouldn't putting your health be at the top of that list? This is nurse practitioner Brittany Jackson, and at Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic, we see so many people who waited to make their health a top priority and address those minor problems before they became big problems. Come see us today to establish us as your primary care provider, and we can discuss all the preventative maintenance recommended to keep you in tip-top shape. This is the perfect time of year to get you and your family on the track to better health. We can't wait to see how we can help you because, after all, wellness is part of our name. Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic, your place for hometown healing. Don't forget we are in our new location right across from TJ Sampson Hospital at 1214B North Ray Street. Call us today, 270-629-6722. We look forward to helping your entire family achieve better health at Jackson Health and Wellness Clinic in Glasgow.
All right, we're going to play trivia this morning, 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. The telephone number to call. If you can answer this college, not this college, if you can answer this question, I guess I've been thinking about college because I'm talking to Sam Terry about Transylvania earlier. Here's the question, 651-9149, 800-956-1023. 1023. When this Ohio college was founded in 1833, it became the first co-ed college in the United States. And in 1841, it was the first college to award degrees to women. Pretty historical. What is the name of this school? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Wonder who knows this.
Kent State.
No, it wasn't Kent State. Trivia.
Akron.
No, not Akron. Let me read it again here. When this Ohio college was founded in 1833, it became the first co-ed college in the U.S., and in 1841, the first to award degrees to women. Name that school. Trivia.
Oberlin.
That's it. Who is this speaking?
Chappie Rice.
Chappie, how you doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Now, I thought that was a tough question, but you jumped right on that, Chappie.
I've heard that numerous times. I don't know. You may not have seen the HBO series called Girls, but I think it was based on people from Oberlin or something the last time I remember hearing about it.
Well, I think it's pretty, the 1833, the first co-ed college, that was what, 70 years before women could vote? Something like that? So, talk about being a pioneering school. And then in 1841 to award degrees to women, I think that's pretty much something to be proud of and something to know about our past, Chappie.
I think it's known for all sorts of progressive things and experimental and no grades and this and that. I think that if you look up Oberlin, you'll probably find a whole lot of neat things about it.
Oberlin.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
All right. And Chappie, while I got you on here real fast, I'm just so anxious for Harvest of History because you're going to be playing the part of one of my favorite gentlemen from the past, your dad, Mr. Ellis Rice. And
I got the idea after seeing you play your dad.
Oh, okay. I see.
I should do that. So,
well, I'm anxious.
Finally getting around to it.
I'm anxious to see it because I know it's going to be really good. So, folks need to get out there and remember the dates and learn a lot about our past for sure. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, Chappie Rice. It's Oberlin College in Ohio. Yes, Oberlin, Oberlin, the first college to become a co-ed college, 1833. Talk about being ahead of your time. That's what it was. So there we are with that information for you here on WCLU, and we'll play trivia tomorrow. You never know when we're going to stumble upon something that will open up an interesting piece of information for you, and we'll look forward to seeing that. You know what I haven't done? I haven't told you about our Good as Gold honoree yet either, but I'm going to do that right now before we get into the 7 o'clock news. Today, it is, by special request, Amy Holly Day on the radio. Now, Miss Amy Holly is having her 87th birthday today, and she was requested to be good as gold, and I am going to make sure you know that. So if you happen to see Amy Holly around town today, birthday number 87, let her know she's good as gold from WCLU, and a little taste of Texas.
CBS News Update. Hurricane Florence is on the move and getting stronger. It is now a Category 2 hurricane with 105-mile-an-hour winds headed toward the southeast coast. Dave Roberts is at the National Hurricane Center.
As it moves towards the southeast or mid-Atlantic states, we expect the system to be close to a Category 4 hurricane by that time.
I'm Jim Crisula. One big worry about Hurricane Florence, weather forecasters fear the storm will slow down, stall, or even loop in circles for days, dumping epic amounts of rain across parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic. Some predictions call for 3 feet of rain or more in parts of North Carolina and Virginia.
Florence is expected to hit the U.S. late Thursday or Friday morning. Charleston, South Carolina Mayor John Tecklenburg has put out the warning.
Make sure you're ready and have your supplies in place and your evacuation plans in mind in case that order comes.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The Royce Radio Family. WCLU, 1490 Glasgow. WCLU FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow. And W276DO, 103.1 Glasgow.
Bailey Gibson, them a deal-making, hand-shaking, wheel-turning, hard-working dealer.
In need of a new vehicle? How about a Buick?
An Enclave, Encore, an Envision? We make it easy at Bailey Gibson. No matter the make or model, Buick or GMC, new or used, Bailey Gibson has the vehicle for you. On the lot or a customized order, we make it easy for you. Need financing or service after the sale? We make it easy. Don't stress over car buying. Stop in or give us a call.
Dandy can make car buying easy for you.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting local news in just a moment. All right. The Glasgow Independent School Board will meet tonight in regular session. The board will recognize Sarah Shepard for winning the Music Teacher of the Year award. In other items on the agenda, the board will hear a presentation of information regarding the Glasgow softball project and may take action after that presentation regarding the information that is given. Over the last month, the softball issue has been heard in several official meetings. To recap these events, first a little history. When the construction of the new Glasgow High School began, plans were drawn out to have a softball field on campus for the construction project. That plan never came to fruition. Due to Title IX guidelines, the school board felt it was necessary to upgrade the facilities and sought bids for construction of a softball facility, with estimates ranging in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars. Board member Dr. Barrett Lessenberry voiced his opinions about whether or not a municipal park could be renovated if acquired from the city. The school board ultimately voted to build a new facility for the softball team, whether on the high school campus or if it were possible to renovate an existing municipal property. Then, a month ago, Glasgow High School Principal Dr. Amy Allen addressed the Glasgow City Council and laid out recommendations for what they would like to do if the city were to donate or transfer ownership of some portions of Nelson Field, Richardson Field, and possibly the basketball and tennis courts. By state law, the school system cannot renovate property it does not own. So the Parks and Recreation Committee met to discuss Dr. Allen's proposal a week later. After several discussions and opinions were voiced, that committee voted to recommend to the full City Council that they should move forward with transferring ownership of the facilities requested by Allen, either by sale or by donation or some form of consideration to the two entities could agree on. That recommendation was never able to be placed on the agenda because 2 weeks ago, April Russell, city grant writer, informed the Glasgow City Council that transferring ownership of those fields and facilities was essentially not an option because of restrictions tied to grant money that the city had received over the last 6 decades. The only way the city could donate or sell the property Dr. Allen had proposed would be through a process called conversion. Conversion basically means you can give the school the fields, but you have to build a new one just like it, or at least comparable. So tonight, the school board will see where they are in the process for a new softball facility. The meeting will be held at 6 p.m. at South Green Elementary School. In recent weeks, WCLU has learned that a new elementary school will be built to replace South Green. The preschool program will move to where South Green Elementary is now, along with some of the administrative staff. And the former Happy Valley Elementary location will be excised. Now, the Glasgow City Council will hear about plans for their parks as well tonight. A consulting firm was hired to develop a master plan for the city's park system to recommend short-term and long-term improvements for the recreation department. That firm, Brandstetter Carroll Incorporated, will address the Glasgow City Council tonight at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. You can watch the EPB Channel 6 broadcast or the stream of the broadcast on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, Watch WCLU, or on the homepage of WCLUradio.com. In other items on the agenda tonight, Glasgow Water Company Director Scott Young will give his annual report on his department. Just recently, WCLU learned that the Glasgow Water Company won a competition for the best tasting water in the state of Kentucky. The council will be voting on a resolution to increase the amount of an existing loan by the water company for additions and improvements to their infrastructure. The current loan amount is $3.5 million, and the resolution calls for that amount to increase to $5.3 million. Also, the council will vote on setting the tax rates for the upcoming fiscal year. There will be a public hearing at 6:30 p.m. tonight, just prior to the Glasgow City Council meeting. And in other news, the streak is over. Kentucky beat Florida. What a great day. More local news when we continue.
Well, folks, I got to tell you, my two young bucks have come a long way these last few years.
Well, Bill, we had some good training.
Pettigo Lessenberry has a wealth of knowledge, and we're lucky to have a company like that backing us.
Jared, don't you mean ISU, Pettigo Lessenberry? ISU, Integrity, Strength, Unity.
I tried to tell him, boss man.
We're just giving you a hard time, Jared. These young bucks, Jared Pursley and Daniel Bird, we're just so proud to have them. You know, the most important thing they've learned is that they want to be able to treat people right, and they work hard to find their customers the coverage they need.
We're ISU, Pettigo Lessenberry.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
And still learning every day. Give one of these young bucks a call. Jared or Daniel, 651-8837. They'd be proud if you do, and so would I.
All right, Jared. It's ISU, Integrity, Strength, Unity. All right, I got it.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance. Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
TJ Sampson.
In more local news at this hour, contract crews will be working on rough bridge ends beginning today along I-65, the widening construction zone. The northbound lane closures will be set out at mile markers 83 and 91 around 7 o'clock this morning. Motorists should slow down, pay close attention to signs, and be prepared for slow or stopped traffic or stop ahead signs approaching the area. Lane closures will shift as work progresses. Work should be complete and lane closures removed by later this morning. In other work this week on I-65, a major resurfacing project has started between mile marker 35 and 44 in both directions, and the interstate will be down to one lane most nights between the hours of 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. weather depending. Motorists should use extreme caution and watch for slowed or stopped traffic. Law enforcement will be present during the overnight hours. Also on the Louisville and Cumberland Parkway in Barron and Metcalfe counties, work is to continue on a bridge maintenance contract on various bridges along the parkway. The work will consist of cleaning, painting, and applying a concrete coating to 28 bridges along the parkway. Expect lane closures to be in place at various bridges along the parkway and on the routes that pass beneath. Sonia Turner, founder of Project 12, is one of the organizers of a few town hall meetings to address the opioid epidemic that we're experiencing here in South Central Kentucky. One is tonight in Tompkinsville. The next one will be in Glasgow tomorrow at the South Central Bank Operations Center. I spoke with Sonia Turner in an interview about the event, who will be there, and the epidemic that is opioid addiction we hear about every day in the news, and how to deal with it if it were to or has hit home for you. Here's that interview with Sonia Turner. Wes Royce for WCLU Local News, and I'm joined with Sonia Turner of Project 12, which is an outreach program for addiction. And Sonia, along with some other folks, have organized a couple of different town hall meetings to deal with opioid epidemics, that is, the addiction of opioid that has become an epidemic, and we're talking about painkillers, and we're talking about different things. The first event is going to be held tonight at 5:30 in Monroe County, and then there will be another one at the South Central Bank Operations Center on Tuesday in Glasgow. So, Sonia, thank you for joining me today. Tell me why we're having these town hall meetings.
Thank you, Wes. These town hall meetings are a result of the drug addiction epidemic we have in our communities, and not just our rural communities, but also on the national level. Project 12 saw a need there were so many families struggling with their loved ones that we came together and wanted to come up with a solution to offer hope for these families and also offer resources for these families to get help. So as a result of that, we are having these town hall meetings to invite people out to get educated.
And talk about what you do with Project 12 a little bit, and talk about that a little more specifically. What is that project set up for?
Okay. Project 12, we're a nonprofit 501c3, and we're a resource for families that they can contact us if they're wanting to get help for their loved ones or their family members. They contact us, and we're like the bridge between the treatment center and the family, because when families contact us, they're on an emotional roller coaster, and they don't know where to get help. And so Project 12 has worked the last 4 years on forming relationships with these treatment centers and just learning and networking with people that can help these families get the help they need.
And like you said, it's not just rural Kentucky and rural America. It's all over the place. And actually one of the speakers is former NFL player Randy Grimes, who played over a decade in the NFL, and even longer than that. He's struggled with addiction to painkillers. You also have a very well-known guy known as the Hope Dealer. His name is Tim Ryan. He's from the A&E documentary Dope Man. And you got a whole bunch of people. You guys are looking at this from all angles. You got law enforcement. You got legal people there. You've got everything covered as far as people who can answer questions. And so I'm looking forward to the folks who need this actually coming and getting help. And you said earlier when we spoke that the guys like this, they're going to be available even after this week?
Yes, they are. That's the great thing about these resources that we have found Project 12's reached out to. These guys are going to share their stories of hope, and then they're going to be available after this event's over with. This is just not a one-night event. These people are going to be available 2 months from now, 6 months from now. They're going to leave information for these families, and they're going to be available for them to contact them anytime that they want to reach out and ask for help. These are great people. And Project 12 is so blessed to have these people on board with us.
And we're blessed to have people like you here locally in the community who see the need and reach out, educate people, and be there for them when they really, really, really do need your help. And they need somebody to be looked at not as somebody who is a criminal, but somebody who has a medical problem, if you will. So tell us again about the when and the where. We've got tonight at Monroe County over in Tompkinsville. Where is that one, and what time does that start?
The one in Monroe County is on Monday night, Family Wellness Center on 160 Old Mulkey Road, and that's at 5:30. And then Tuesday night is South Central Bank at the Bale O'Brien Community Room on 501 South L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow. And if you can't get there at 5:30 for the registration and dinner, just come when you can, because the doors are going to be open.
That was the interview with Sonia Turner. Today I'll sit down with her and some of the speakers that will be there, including former NFL player Randy Grimes and from the ENA documentary Hope Dealer, Tim Ryan. More local news here in just a moment from the Kentucky News Network. I'm Wes Royce reporting. Right now it is 7:21 and it's 61 degrees outside in downtown Glasgow. Taking a look at the roof cam here. Kind of a gloomy looking start to the day. Expect to see that for the next few days as they're expecting cloudy skies but very, very mild temperatures. Right now, again, 7:22, 61 degrees.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. The search continues today for a boy swept into a culvert near a creek in Moorhead, Kentucky. Police said a 12-year-old boy and an 8-year-old boy were playing in the water Sunday when they were swept away. The 12-year-old was found safe, but the 8-year-old has not been seen since.
The Monroe County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that another animal has been found dead in the same area where 3 others were found dead earlier this month. A small calf was found dead on a farm less than a mile from where 3 miniature horses and a dog were found dead on September 3rd. Authorities cannot confirm that the animal deaths are related, and the cause of the deaths remain unknown. A driver of a Louisville yellow cab died in floodwaters Saturday night.
That's not the ideal way to go. I was like, oh gosh, if there's an ambulance and fire trucks, somebody drove under the viaduct.
Witness Trina Fisher tells WLKY she and several women gathered across the street from the viaduct near 13th and West Oak just before 11 p.m. Saturday as first responders tried to save the drowned victim.
I went and saw, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 people in like orange vests that were crowded around the center area of the viaduct.
According to police, the cab got stuck in high water and flooded, killing the engine. The victim was removed from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. The driver has not been identified. School is out for several Eastern Kentucky students. Schools in Bath, Menifee, Montgomery, and Powell counties all canceled classes for today due to flooding concerns. Parts of Eastern Kentucky are under a flood warning until Wednesday because of all of the recent rain. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Louder than life, bigger, better than ever. Kentucky's largest rock festival, September 28th through the 30th at Champions Park in Louisville, with special appearances by 9 Inch Nails, Alice in Chains, Godsmack, Deftones, Shinedown. Louder than life with 9 Inch Nails, Alice in Chains, Godsmack, Deftones, Shinedown, Breaking Benjamin, Slash, Bush, Ice Cube, Billy Idol, Primus, the return of Five Finger Death Punch, and a special appearance by Limp Bizkit. September 28th, 29th, and 30th, 9 Inch Nails, Alice in Chains, Deftones, Godsmack, Five Finger Death Punch, Limp Bizkit, and more. Go to louderthanlife.com for all ticket, lineup, and festival information.
Doesn't it make you feel better?
Ugh. I was about to pull my own hair out. I've been driving around for the last hour trying to find a place for me and my kids to get our hair cut on a Saturday morning. I know, good luck, right? Well, don't pull your hair out. Stop in and see our friends down at Heritage 76 Barbershop today. Heritage 76 Barbershop is located right on the Glasgow Square, so it's not difficult to find, so there won't be any driving around looking for a place. You can go right next to the Plaza Theater. You'll see the barber pole right out front. You can stop in and see David, Anthony, and Cody, who have more than 50 years of combined barbershop experience. No problems if you want to stop in on a Saturday as well. They're open from 8 to 3, and you can make an appointment if you want to schedule your time, or you can just show up and walk in with the kids. Either way, you're going to lean back in a professional environment with a big screen TV and 3 barbers who can carry on a conversation and cut hair. Stop in and see Heritage 76 Barbershop, or visit our website, heritage76barbershop.com. Call for an appointment or stop in, but whatever you do, don't pull your hair out driving around on another Saturday. See Heritage 76 Barbershop.
The Weather Channel brings you the latest forecast, sponsored by Southern States in Glasgow. The Weather Channel brings you the latest forecast, sponsored by Southern States in Glasgow.
The home for Holland Grills in Southern Kentucky is Southern States. For more than 30 years, Holland has been building America's greatest grill. The Holland Grill is easy to use and gives you moist, juicy, tender food each and every time you grill. Southern States carries a great selection of Holland Grills ready to be put into service today. The only grill made which offers a no flare-up guarantee in writing. And listen for details on the summer propane fill-up promotion coming soon to Southern States in Glasgow.
Below average temperatures here for the start of the business week, warming up through the middle and end of the work week. Mostly cloudy skies for us here today, although we could see a little bit of sunshine mix in at times later on this afternoon. Afternoon highs today in the low 70s, almost 15 degrees below average. Decreasing clouds for us here tonight, areas of fog late, mid-50s. Morning fog for us on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies through the afternoon. A little milder upper 70s, and then a mix of clouds and sun and quite a bit warmer Wednesday and Thursday with high temperatures, middle to upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
All right, Ken, the big headline from the weekend is we've got 2 inches and 3/10, 2.30 in the rain gauge. The constant coverage of studio radar screen shows the remnants of that still over in southwest Virginia, but nonetheless, it added up, it mounted up, and it certainly got us damped up for sure. As it came through this past weekend. Barometers at 29.92, 99% humidity, northwest winds at about 4 miles an hour, 61 degrees. It feels nice out there for sure today. This WCLU weather update brought to you by your friends at Southern States.
Do you use a debit card? Do you get paid by direct deposit or have a monthly bill set up for auto payment? Do you like the convenience of online banking and the efficiency of e-statements? If so, Citizens First Platinum Plus checking account is for you. Stop by Citizens First today to open your Platinum Plus account and start earning real interest on your money.
Qualifications must be met each statement cycle to earn premium interest rates. Required minimum opening deposit of $100. Interest earned, compounded, and paid monthly. Interest rate is subject to change. Must be a Kentucky or Tennessee resident. One account per Social Security number. Member FDIC.
Good morning, friends. The uninformed and uninterested seem to constantly cast stones at Christianity and the devout followers of Christ. Granted, there are those false Christians, in name only, who act and speak in ways that damage the name Christian. But they should not be confused with those who are genuine disciples of Christ. Great evil has been committed throughout history and is still being committed in the name of Jesus. An even casual biblical scholar would recognize such as it completely at odds with real Christianity. Having said all that, the church is faulty and is not perfect. It's made up of faulty people. Even if it were perfect, the moment those who scorn Christianity or true Christians were to become a part of the church is the moment it would become flawed and faulty. Crusades and inquisitions have nothing to do with Christ. Hate speech and unkind and spiteful words have nothing to do with Christ. Arrogance and revenge have nothing to do with Christ. Violence and slanderous speech have nothing to do with Christ. Having said that, it is neither hate speech nor unloving nor bigoted for one to point out and stand against those things, attitudes, and actions that are clearly labeled as sinful within the Bible. In fact, as a true disciple of Jesus, it becomes necessary to take such stands against evil. That stand is neither judgmental nor unloving, but rather is speaking the words of God in truth and in love. This is Danny Wyatt for the Refuge Church of Christ.
I'm Roxanne Cloyd, also known as the noodle floating, calorie drowning, water weightlifting, woohoo yelling, floor balancing H2O aerobics instructor. As you probably guessed, that means I'm the splashing H2O instructor, Aqua Emotion, and we have lots of fun. If you have aches and pains in your joints, my class at Extreme Health Club is where you need to be. It's soothing to your body, and it's important that you don't throw in the towel, you dry off with it after a fun splashing H2O class at Extreme Health Club. Everything is more fun when it's in the water. Call me now, classes fill up quickly, 651-3036.
All right, we're at 7:30 on the button, 61 degrees this morning from WCLU. And I do want to remind you about a couple of meetings coming up today. At 3:45, the Barron County High School Site-Based Council meets in regular session, Trojan Academy Media Center. And the Caverna High School Decision-Based Council meeting is going to be today in the high school library. And that will start at, 4:30 p.m. So you want to be sure and take advantage of those opportunities. Just like I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to share some birthday wishes.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
It's just a fun place to be. Are you feeling low? Do you want some fun? Ralphie's can instantaneously throw the fun right at you. Let me look at the Birthday Anniversary Club right here on WCLU, where we have just learned that Ashley Harper has a birthday today. It's Isaiah Morgan, who is turning 19, Judy Wood, Kim Wheeler Mathis. It is Jennifer Scott. Jennifer is 38 today. It's William Thomas, and William is 67 today. Amy Holly is 87. Addie Morgan, Martha Harrison, Sue Romines, Johnny Harlow, Johnny Harlow with a birthday. Margie Edmonds Kinslow is 94. Sheila Bunch, Doris Pettigo, Ashley Smith Grubbs has a birthday today. Ashley is 36, we understand. Now we've got the 64th wedding anniversary for Bill and Doris Newberry today. It's the 24th for Dwayne and Gina Miller today. Congratulations. And we've got James and Paula Deckard, number 41 for the Deckards. How about that? 651-914-9800-956-1023. Online, we're here. WCLU radio.com. 7:33, and thanks to Ralphie's Fun Center for making birthdays always so much fun around here.
Hey everybody, this is Arn Dog. I want to remind you all about the easiest way to remember where to find your next home or business. Just go to GlasgowKYHomes.com. That's where you'll find a complete listing of property available from Glasgow's Realty and Auction. Randy Gibbons, principal broker, is a personal friend, and I can assure you that he and Tara Vincent will treat you right. Located on the square in Glasgow. That's Glasgow Realty and Auction. Call 651-SOLD, and remember, GlasgowKYHomes.com.
The Empty Nest Inside Pharmacy Express is getting geared up for the next season. Stop by the Empty Nest and stock up on lots of summer merchandise like clothing, select jewelry, summer beach bags, and towels, all at discounted prices. The summer markdown is going on right now, and even bigger savings are coming. Thursday, July 26th through Saturday, July 28th. Shop the Empty Nest for 20 to 60% off everything in the store. Yes, I said everything. You'll find the Empty Nest is not so empty inside Pharmacy Express on the corner of the Bypass and Cleveland Avenue in Glasgow.
It was one of those moments. I was a proud dad, standing behind my son as he just switched off on his first bicycle pedal, pulled out my cell phone, and what did I do? Dropped it. Yep, there it was. And I knew it was cracked the second I picked it up. I didn't worry, because I knew where to take it, and that's Gadget Patchers, located at 199 Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow. Gadget Patchers is a cell phone and computer repair store where I take all of my gadgets when they're in need of repair, whether that's cell phone screen, the charging port, or maybe it won't even come on at all now. And I have no doubt that Seth and all his talented staff at Gadget Patchers have the answers waiting for you. They can replace the entire screen, pretty much service a cell phone in any way imaginable. Time for an upgrade anyway? They've got newly refurbished phones and at great prices. Call Seth Arterburn down at Gadget Patchers at 270-228-0000 or stop in and get your repair quote on your device, or bring it in and have them take a look at it, and you can shop around for a fully refurbished computer or laptop right in the store, as well as tablets and other phone accessories that you're going to need once you get the repair complete. Be sure to mention WCLU and get 10% off all accessories. Don't miss another one of life's events because of your broken device. See Gadget Patchers today.
What's the most beautiful time of the year? Well, Mammoth Cave Transplants, a Kentucky proud member, has a plan to make fall absolutely gorgeous around your home. It's a transition of seasons and a transition of color that Janet Dennison and her staff look forward to. It's a time for fall flowers. The mums, pansies, and fall bedding plants provide accents and highlights to your landscape and plant beds. And fall is the time to set out shrubs and trees so they will get a well-grounded start. In addition to all of this fall beauty, you will get the veteran expertise of the Kentucky proud personnel at Mammoth Cave Transplants. Years of raising greenhouses full of plants has given them the experience to know what's best for you. This fall, strive for beauty. Start with the best. Visit Mammoth Cave Transplants, Highway 259 in Edmonson County between Pig and Rhodey. Call 597-2533. They're open Monday through Friday 8 till 5, Saturday 8 to 4, closed Sundays. All right, let's see right here. What are we doing next? 7:36 WCLU. I got to hang around and find out what we're doing next. Actually, what we're going to do is, if I can find the little thing that tells us that it's time for Tidbit News. Yes, it's where we...
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
Where we talk about things that won't necessarily make the headlines, but certainly interesting news stories here to share with you. Aaron Russell is with us this morning.
Hey.
Aaron is up and running and ready to head to school, and but before he does, he's going to share some tidbit news. Fair enough?
Yeah.
This story right here, speaking of going to school, you're a high school student.
Oh, yeah.
You're probably this person's age.
All right, yeah.
Here we go. The dateline of this story, Aaron, is Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Okay.
One Mississippi high school senior had to quickly discard her crown after being named the homecoming queen, and then she put on a football helmet.
Huh.
Are you ready for this? Her name is Kaylee Foster.
All right.
She was crowned the homecoming queen of Ocean Springs High School before Friday night's football game.
All right.
And so then she put on her football uniform, and later she kicked the winning extra point.
Wow.
To lead her team to a 13-12 victory over George County High School. Miss Foster kicked 2 field goals earlier, giving her the majority of the team's points.
Yeah.
Primarily, she is a soccer player.
Okay.
But Miss Foster has been kicking with the football varsity team since she was a sophomore.
Well, that's good.
She's been a member of the homecoming court for 4 years, too. She put her crown back on after the game, posing for photos in her football uniform. And if you're watching us, I don't know if that's on the screen or not.
It is.
But that's her right there, number 15.
Wow.
She's got a quarterback's number there because she's the kicker. Anyway, it says here she put her crown on for the photos and put the tiara on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like this quote. This is you show you how smart she is. Asked whether she was more nervous before the homecoming queen announcement or before her kick, she told the Mississippi Press newspaper, quote, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be a homecoming queen, but I was pretty sure I was going to make that kick. Well, she was wrong partly because she was the queen.
Yeah.
And she also made the kick. Now, that's going to be one that's going to be hard to top for a while, you know.
Wow.
But anyway, pretty neat. She's kicked that extra point.
Yeah.
That just wasn't your run-of-the-mill extra point, Aaron.
Yeah.
It gave them the victory.
Man, that's great.
Down in Mississippi. That's one to write home about for sure. All right, story number 2. If I can get story number 2 to play right here. I've got a little theme song for story number 2.
All right.
Stand by.
Okay.
No, I don't want the Labor Day sale. That's not what I want. Anyway, this is a story out of New York City, and there was a flight arriving in New York City this past weekend from Dubai that had several people hospitalized with illness.
Wow.
They also, on board of the plane, they had vanilla ice.
What's
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I can see. Remember, there's a camera in the newsroom, Aaron, so I can see you making those jive moves up there. All right, anyway, this is the story. The flight arrived in New York from Dubai, had several people hospitalized with illness, and also had vanilla ice on board. His manager confirms that vanilla was on the Emirates flight where about 100 of the 520 people on board complained of illness.
Wow.
Fire officials say 10 were hospitalized.
Ugh.
Vanilla Ice posted a video on the emergency emergency response. He had tweeted it was a double-decker plane, and he was on the top level while all the sick people were below.
That's good.
You know, he was feeling, I guess, superior.
Yeah.
He made it to the top deck.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's a little vanilla ice there.
Yeah, I guess he had to stop and listen.
Yeah, but I mean, this was the some sort of an illness. There's not a lot of information here on the illness.
Yeah.
But if 100 people got sick, I'd try to get more information about it if I could.
Yeah.
And finally, this story. I don't. Let's see. I don't really have a theme song for this story, but it's pretty interesting because you know we're all very familiar with Nashville and about how growing that Nashville is and how that it's just, you know, it's changing the way people do things.
Yeah.
And here's one for you. Now, most people, when they move their stuff when they relocate.
Yeah.
But there is a group known as Hailstorm.
Yeah.
And they move themselves to be with their stuff.
What?
The guitarist of Hailstorm is Joe Hottinger. He says that their tour bus was already based in Nashville. And very often the tour bus would have to travel empty to come and pick up the band members in Pennsylvania or Florida. He says they decided to store their gear in Nashville and then just fly in.
Yeah.
But then this guy here, Mr. Hottinger, says he wanted to buy his guitars. So he moved there. He didn't want the guitarist to sleep alone.
Yeah.
So he actually moved to Nashville. The rest of the band followed. The singer, Lizzie Hale, says because Nashville is a city that is all about music, they have become better musicians.
I'm sure.
She says they can't get away with just faking it on stage when so many great musicians come through there.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So they, they had their, the bus was driving empty hundreds of miles just to pick up the band.
Yeah, so they got bored.
So they moved to Nashville, and now, it's much more efficient to pick up the
central location.
That's right. Pick up the people down the street rather than 8 states away.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that's what we have: the homecoming queen and the football extra point kicker.
Wow.
And then we got Vanilla Ice. He's on a sick plane, but he's well because he towered above the rest of the people on the plane.
Yeah.
And then Hailstorm. Now they got it all together. The bus and the instruments and the band members all in the same town. Where else?
Yeah.
Tidbit News for today.
Are you looking for a new career or maybe just part-time work? Ahead Staffing in Glasgow and Bowling Green can help make that happen. They're now taking applications for immediate job openings in the manufacturing and food production industry with competitive pay and benefits. The job market is in high demand for new employees. So whether you're looking for a full-time or part-time job, go see Ahead Staffing in Glasgow or Bowling Green and get started on a path to your own fulfilling career. You must be able to pass a drug test and you will be subject to a background check. Call 270-904-3777 in Bowling Green, or in Glasgow call 270-361-5119 to learn more. Or you can always go to aheadstaffingbg.com. With so many opportunities available, see why Ahead Staffing is the place so many in Southern Kentucky have chosen to help find the right job for them. And don't forget to visit aheadstaffingbg.com.
Hey, Coach Jay Hart, how about we play a little old school trivia?
All right, Stuxoni, I'm a trivia guy, and old school is just my style.
Who has the freshest salads in town?
Easy, that would be the Old School Cafe.
Right, but who has the sweetest donuts?
Again, it has to be the Old School Cafe.
Man, you're on a roll. Speaking of rolls, how about the freshest, biggest, best cinnamon rolls?
No brainer again, Stuxoni, it's the Old School Cafe. Folks, if you want the freshest salads, the sweetest donuts, and the biggest and best cinnamon rolls this side of anywhere, then make it the Old School Cafe.
The Old School Cafe is operated by Metcalfe County High School students. Is located in the old Metcalfe County High School cafeteria on West Stockton Street in Edmonton. And hey, there's nothing trivial about that.
The Old School Cafe is open for breakfast 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 on Saturdays, open for lunch 11 to 1 Monday through Friday.
Come visit us at the Old School Cafe.
Should be a good day on the radio today to listen to KSR, Kentucky Sports Radio, Matt Jones, and his cast of characters who will be on there. And you know the topic of discussion is going to be the big victory down in the swamp from this weekend. And I'm sure they're as far as having an interesting perspective on it, they'll twist it in all different directions. So be sure and join us at 9 o'clock today for Kentucky Sports Radio. You can hear it on our 1490 WCLU channel and our all-new channel at 103.1 WCLU for Matt Jones and KSR and a review of the Swamp Fest.
Hack Whitty, Marita Whitty Lyle, David Whitty, Becky Lyle, names that have been trusted in this community for quality auto repairs for 46 years. Names you can continue to trust for many years to come. At Whitty's Complete Car Care, they specialize in all your car repair needs, including brakes, tune-ups, and diagnostics. And you won't believe their amazing tire prices. If you're ever in need of towing or unlocking service, Jeff is ready and waiting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Whitty's Complete Car Care on Rogers Road in Glasgow. 46 years and counting.
Hello, I'm Anthony Myatt. Thanks for calling. How can I help you?
I need life insurance, but it's so complicated.
It can be. As a Modern Woodman agent, I'm trained to design the best plan for you.
Great. Thanks a lot. I'm so glad I called you.
Call me anytime at 427-6807.
Get to know your local Modern Woodman representative to plan for your financial future and learn about valuable member benefits. Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures. Securities offered through MWA Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodman of America.
Hey, don't forget today we're patting Amy Holly on the back. Now, Amy is 87 today, and it worked out good that we could pat her on the back on her birthday. Yes, sometimes that works out, but sometimes we have to move it around a day or two. But today it is Amy Holly's 87th birthday. And it's perfect that we get to also jump in here and pat her on the back today and let her know that she is as good as gold from her friends here at WCLU and a little taste of Texas, where they're going to be, Mondays are always special days anyway down at Texas. And today is going to be even more special. You can come down there and make it so at a little taste of Texas.
The following weather forecast is brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver and Referral Services. When roles reverse in your later years, when child becomes caretaker and the needs of the parent become most important, it's comforting to know that there's help along the way. Peggy Tuck Edwards would like for you to be informed about Private Caregiver and Referral Services, because sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship. It's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether in the home or in an assisted living or nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. Call 270-670-7062.
Below average temperatures here for the start of the business week, warming up through the middle and end of the work week. Mostly cloudy skies for us here today, although we could see a little bit of sunshine mix in at times later on this afternoon. Afternoon highs today in the low 70s, almost 15